Today we are checking out the activities list coming from lonelyplanet.com,
which is a very famous international travel guide, and they've listed 12 experiences that you need to do in Vienna to just get to know the city really well.
We are going to check out the list, give you guys our honest opinion on each individual activity, and yeah, let's see what lonelyplanet.com is recommending.
Number 1.
Start at the Stephansdom. Fully agree. The Gothic, glorious, iconic Stephansdom. I'm not sure if I'm right, but I think it's sitting on a platform. That's why it looks pretty high if you look from other parts of the city, even though it's just 136 meters, so it's not really a huge skyscraper. We have mentioned it in one of our previous videos that the church itself is free to enter, but each individual activity within the church, you would have to pay for it. In the article, they are talking about the North Tower, which is also our recommendation. If you want to go up the St. Stephen's Cathedral, you can either go to the South Tower or to the North Tower. South Tower basically goes up through a staircase up, so it says also here in the article
343 steps,
and it's a very tight staircase, so keep that in mind. No resting spots in between, so it's really just going up. And North Tower, which is also home to the huge bell Pomerine, has an elevator up, so you can pay for the elevator ride, go up. You also have beautiful views of the city, so we always recommend the North Tower over the South Tower.
Have you ever been actually up with the stairs?
Yeah, 2 or 3 times. Now, when I was at school, we used to go up the stairs every time, which is okay.
Yes.
I mean, it's not super exhausting, and in my opinion, the view platform or the view windows that you have in the South Tower are not comparable to the North Tower. You have better views on the North Tower.
I have also been up the stairs once, and I remember it being really tight because I remember that time you were going down the same way and going up the same staircase, and it's so tight. So if you're a little claustrophobic, I think that's what you say, don't do that. Yeah. But if you're pumped up and you want to try something new, definitely use it.
Yeah, it's only one staircase for both directions, and you always have also some people who take some rest in between, who have to take some rest, so they are also blocking the way, of course. So it's a little bit tight, so if you want to have the better experience, definitely go for the North Tower.
So number 2 on their list is the tour of the Imperial Complex at the Hofburg. Well, what is the Hofburg, first of all? So the Hofburg is the presidential palace of Austria, and it's a beautiful building. We have mentioned it in our previous videos, top 10 things to do in Vienna for first-time visitors, and we completely agree with Lonely Planet. You have to visit the Hofburg. If you do it from the outside, that's also enough. Of course, the tour inside would be, it gives you a lot of insight to how things are done.
It's a huge complex. If you enter from the city center, you basically walk by the Spanish Riding School and the Sissi Museum. So if you're into that, they are at the beginning of the whole complex.
Close to Café Demme.
What we would highly recommend to you guys is to check out also the Prunksaal of the Hofburg. If you're into libraries and you do imagine yourself walking around in one of those Harry Potter kind of libraries, the Prunksaal is, I think, the closest thing you can find here in Austria, which gives you those
Harry Potter vibes.
Yeah, Harry Potter vibes. Yeah, and also right in front of the Hofburg, you have the Volksgarten, and huge green area. You could just go there for a walk. You can have a picnic there. You can take some rest there from the otherwise busy city center. It's a very popular resting spot, I would say, in city center.
So right in front of the presidential residence is the area that Puri just mentioned with, Volksgarten. There is a garden, and this area is called Heldenplatz, where they have a huge statue as well. Also on the national holidays, they have all these big events. They occur exactly there, right in front of the presidential residence, and yeah, it's really nice. It's in October, 26th of October, so if you're around that time, definitely go check it out. They have stalls, food stalls, militaries represented there. They have helicopters and everything from the army.
There is also a nice planning tip presented by lonelyplanet.com, which says the Hofburg sits on the Ringstrasse, and you can take the tram one or two to see the Ringstraße from a different perspective. And that's something I completely agree with. It's such a very nice local experience to take tram 1 or 2 to get a round of the ring.
You actually get not a private tour, but like almost free tour. When you take the trams around the ring, you see almost all of the famous buildings.
Yeah.
And you see the Parliament, the Opera House, City Hall, the museum, the Twin Museums, like you get it all.
And it's like a hop-on, hop-off bus as well, right? If you have a daily ticket for the tram or for the public transportation in general, you can just hop off at any of those impressive buildings, go for a tour inside and get back on the tram and continue. It's really nice, and I think everybody should experience it when visiting Vienna.
Number 3, exploring a museum wonderland, which Vienna definitely is. It has so many different kinds of museums, from the Natural History Museum to the Art History Museum, Modern Art Museum.
But there are also some alternative museums which we personally have never checked out, but after reading it in that list, maybe we'll give it a try next time. It's the Clowns and the Contraception Museum. Never experienced it, and I'm not really sure if I want to see a clown museum, but I will check it out at least online and see if it's worth it. But I didn't know that Vienna also offers tours of the huge sewer system that we have.
It must be very stinky.
Must be very stinky, but it's also, I would say, one of
the most interesting ones.
Yeah, one of the most interesting ones, because Vienna has a pretty good
sewage system, I think. Yeah, it's pretty high advanced, and that they're offering a tour is pretty nice, I think. So we will definitely check it out. If you want to see that video, make sure you subscribe to the channels. Another one is the Spitalau waste incineration plant. I always wanted to see it from inside. I mean, it's a pretty impressive waste plant. It's definitely, I think, one of the most beautiful ones that you can find around the world. I'm pretty sure it is. It is one of the most bold waste plants that there are around the world, because it was made by this Austrian architect, Wasser, and it's very colorful, bold, and the structure of it is really interesting. And I always, as a kid, I always used to wonder, what is this building? But definitely we will go in and check it out once with our kids, so they just get to know, how the system works.
Okay, let's continue. Number 4, step into the splendor at Schönbrunn Palace.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so I think the Schönbrunn Palace, or the Palace Complex, is must-see if you're in Vienna. If you have seen the Versailles Palace in Paris, it might not be as exciting for you. In the end, it's a small copy of that, but if you have never seen it, definitely check out the Schönbrunn Palace Complex. It's really nice. It has a huge garden, which you can visit for free. The garden itself is free to enter,
which was not the case in Versailles.
Yeah, in Versailles I can remember we had to pay to see the garden, but here, at least in Vienna, it's definitely for free. And it's also home, of course, to the Schönbrunn Castle. You can do tours in there. There are different kinds of tours if you're interested. And it's also home to the oldest zoo in the world. Yeah, definitely check it out if you're with kids.
I think you could even just plan a whole day for Schönbrunn. So you could do the palace. Then you could walk the gardens, take a stroll in the gardens. There's even a maze outside in the gardens. You would have to pay extra for that, but it's a fun activity, I think, also for kids. You can walk up to the Gloriettes, because that's the viewpoint for the Schönbrunn Palace, and you get a great view of the whole city.
Yeah, if you want to see everything there, you definitely have to plan a whole day.
So number 5 is to admire the art at the Schloss Belvedere. So Schloss Belvedere is situated closer to the city center, whereas Schönbrunn is on the outskirts of the city. But the Schönbrunn Palace is the summer palace, or we used to be the summer palace of the emperor. Schloss Belvedere, the Belvedere Palace, was the winter residence.
Also there, the garden is completely free to enter, so if you want to go for a walk again, you want to take some rest from the busy city center, Schloss Belvedere is pretty beautiful. We have been there a couple of times already in the garden itself.
It's a little smaller. It's definitely more compact, but it's still worth checking out.
And it also has a Christmas market during winter time, which is quite popular. Let's continue. Step out at Prater Park. Prater is basically a really huge recreational area that we have in Vienna.
You can go biking there, you can do your morning sports there.
If you really want to step out again from the city center, that's another spot you can get lost in Prater for an entire day.
Definitely. With the amusement park, they have many restaurants now, like good restaurants along the boulevard as well. They have many playgrounds. In summer, they're like yoga classes. They're like like smaller festivals, or like just dance classes and stuff people doing. So it's like a fun place to be in summer.
And also in winter, there is again a Christmas market right in front of the Riesenrad. So in front of the Ferris wheel, there is a huge area. A Christmas market is hosted. And also Kat's parents basically have a Christmas market stand there, if you guys want to check it out.
Come and visit us.
They do sell sausages.
Nothing Indian.
Not Indian.
They sell the famous Austrian sausage, which is Käsekreiner.
Exactly.
And of course they have Glühwein and punch.
Talking about the Ferris wheel, I would say that's also a main attraction in Vienna. It's the oldest Ferris wheel in the world, as far as I've seen, the oldest operating one, and it's really beautiful. So if you look at the structure itself from close by and how old it is and how well maintained it is, really impressive. And you can go for a ride. It costs, I think, around 14 euros if I'm not mistaken. It also gives you beautiful views of the city.
When you go in, you get to know the whole history of how it was built, and it's really like well made. Like inside, you go through this tour, then you can take a picture, and then you go up and wait in line to get into a cabin of this Ferris wheel. I think we went there in winter, last winter. It was absolutely beautiful. We went there, I mean, it was afternoon, but it was already dark because it was winter. But we saw the beautifully lit city hall, but they're like, you can see all the whole skyline. And
so the St. Stephen's Cathedral is super majestic from there.
Yeah.
Good. Let's continue. Yeah. Sample Vienna's coffee culture. I think we have talked in so many of our videos already about the coffee culture in Vienna, and we have also prepared for you guys a list if you want to check it out. If you subscribe to our newsletter, you get free access to the list. So definitely visit at least one traditional coffee house in Vienna. We have done the Café Central recently, and I have to say, if the line is not too long, queue up, check it out, experience it yourself. I think in our case there were around 8 or 9 people in front of us, and we waited around 15 minutes maybe to get in, right?
I think not. Yeah, maybe, yeah.
I think the experience itself was worth it. I really enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy the coffee. It's not really my favorite coffee spot, because they do serve the traditional hot Austrian kind of coffee, and
boiling milk.
Yeah. And I'm not a big fan of those, but the Apfelstrudel was really nice. Highly recommend trying it out.
Also, it just feels so nostalgic, to be sitting in a cafe where so many like big personalities have sat in.
Yeah.
If they're all good or bad, these personalities in the history, that's another topic. But still, it feels very nice to experience a bit of history.
Yeah, if you don't want to line up at Café Central, we also have created a video on that where we provide you with some alternatives, so definitely check out the video.
So number 8 is sip and swirl in urban vineyards. Vienna has many of those. So this sentence got me hooked. Vienna is the only European capital where wine is grown within the city limits. And I never thought about that. And that's why, Vienna is just so diverse in its offerings. You have so many things to do. And you can even do vineyards and go hike up like Karnberg. Close to Karnberg, there are so many Heurigen. That's what they call them here. And you can just go in and try some locally produced wines and have some like traditional Austrian snacking plate that they call Bretteljausen. and just enjoy the atmosphere. And I think in summer, it's a very good activity to do.
And there's even a tour, I think around 28th of September. That's maybe something we could do.
I'm in.
It's vineyard hopping. It has an official date where I think there is also some music and other kind of entertainment included. So it's normally in the 19th district. You start at a spot and go through different vineyards. As Chiara mentioned, all of those also serve food, but only cold food. No warm food.
Mostly cold.
Number 9, wander through local outdoor market or meander through local outdoor market. That's definitely ChatGPT. Yeah, we have done already a couple of market tours ourselves, and the markets in Vienna are pretty nice, I have to say. And every single one of them has its own vibe and speciality. Naschmarkt is, I think, the most popular one that you can visit. Everybody knows about that. It's in every travel guide. But I'm pretty happy that they also mentioned the other ones, like the Brunnenmarkt, which is, in my opinion, more a hidden gem. So if you go there, you can have amazing Middle Eastern food from falafels, shawarmas. So Brunnenmarkt has turned out to be a street food wonderland. Yeah.
We also specifically made a video on that and about like a food tour in Brunnenmarkt. So check out that video if you feel like.
I'm also a big fan of the Karmelitermarkt. I think the smallest market that we have in Vienna, or one of the smallest, it's very small, but it's packed with really good restaurants. So you have a pretty good burger restaurant, pizza restaurant, a kebab stall, and also on Fridays and Saturdays they also have a local farmers market there. So it's a really nice spot also to explore. Number 10, hike in the Vienna hills is related to number 8.
I like hiking for wine. This time you're hiking without wine.
The Vienna city also offers 12 Stadtwanderwege, which are city hiking trails. That's also a really nice way to see the city. And so basically, if you want to combine it maybe with number 8. Number 11 is relax on the Danube Waterfront. Totally agree with them. The Danube Waterfront, which can be accessed via the metro station Donauinsel, is definitely something you should experience on a warm, sunny day in Vienna. It has developed pretty nicely, I would say, in the last couple of years.
They've renovated a lot.
Yeah, and they also have created a new port just recently there, right?
Yeah, it's called Pier 22. They've taken away a lot of restaurants and added like a very laid-back place where you can just hang out and, you know, you can do picnics, you could do
swimming.
You can go swimming and you can do all of your leisurely stuff, bring on your own food and drinks. So that's a very good thing. And that's the first time, I think they opened this year. So if you're here like now-ish or like next year, definitely plan that as well if it's a very hot summer day. Yeah. But there's also another way to enjoy the Danube Waterfront, which would be like right in the middle of the city. That's the Danube Canal, kind of like a promenade. You can just walk around. There are like many pop-ups, you know, like restaurants or like bars, and hang out with your friends. It's very artsy, I must say, because the whole area is full of graffiti, which I personally like. Many people don't like it, and you can just enjoy the art, you can enjoy good food there, and just hang out with your friends.
Let's go to number 12. Slide down the tallest building in Austria. We have never done it. It's pretty
Not
new.
sure I'm gonna do it ever. The Danube Tower is actually Austria's highest structure, and I'm actually looking at it right. And it even has like a revolving restaurant in it. It has a huge 360 viewing platform, and you can buy a ticket, go up the lift and enjoy the view. Or you could do something extra if you're very adventurous, because up there, they even have what they say is Europe's highest slide.
I've seen pictures of it, and it's not see-through. I think it would have been really nice if the whole thing was just, you know, transparent.
That would be scary.
So guys, we have reached the end of the list and also the end of the video. I think it's a pretty good list. We will link the list in the description box below. You guys can check it out. I think it's a great combination of local and more hidden gem kind of experience. They also have linked a lot of restaurants and bars, etc. So definitely check it out.
And if you found this video with our insights helpful for your next trip, then hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget the bell icon because then you'll get a notification when we upload a new video. And stay tuned, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.